In 1932, something strange happened in Western Australia. The government issued an official declaration of war. But the enemy wasn't another country. It wasn't a tank. It wasn't a plane. The enemy was a bird. Its name was the emu. You might not know it. A massive bird that can't fly but can run, standing nearly chest high on a human. And that year, 20,000 of them had flooded into the wheat fields of Western Australia. The farmers didn't know what to do. Their fields were being destroyed. Their livelihoods were at risk. They went to the government and asked for help. The government's answer was unexpected. They would send the army. An experienced officer named Major Meredith was put in charge. He had 2 machine guns and 10,000 rounds of ammunition. The plan was simple. Scatter the emus, save the farmers, go home. On November 2, 1932, the soldiers took their positions. The emus were approaching from the distance. First, a small, dark smudge, then a growing wave of darkness. Everything was going to go according to plan, until it didn't. The fire order was given. The machine guns opened up. And then something no one expected happened. The emus didn't scatter. They didn't panic. Thousands of birds instantly split into small groups and ran in every direction. A machine gun is effective against a dense crowd, but not against hundreds of small groups fleeing in every direction at once. Hours passed. Ammunition ran low. The number of emus killed was far, far below what anyone had expected. And then something even stranger. The emus seemed to be learning. As the days went on, they stopped moving in large groups altogether. They advanced in small units, spread apart, coordinated. Major Meredith later admitted it himself. If we had a military division of emus, we could face any army in the world. The soldiers tried different tactics. They mounted machine guns on trucks and chased the emus across the land. But the Australian terrain was so rough that the trucks bounced so violently, aiming was nearly impossible. Once they had a perfect position, a large group, out in the open, nowhere to run. They were about to fire when the gun jammed. The emus looked and walked away. By the time the gun was fixed, there wasn't a single emu in sight. This strange war made the news. Newspapers ran the story. Journalists rushed to the scene. The government was humiliated. In Parliament, the opposition demanded, "What kind of operation is this?" Newspapers abroad put the Australian army on their front pages, but not as victors. The emus, completely unaware of any of this, kept moving through the fields. Then something else was discovered. Emus were biologically extraordinary survivors. Their thick layers of feathers acted like natural armor. Their powerful legs and remarkable endurance meant that even when hit, most of them simply kept running. Major Meredith wrote in his report, "Each emu seems to have 2 lives." In December 1932, the operation was officially ended. The soldiers pulled back. The emus stayed right where they were. No one in the official records said, "We lost." The operation was simply marked as completed, but 9,000 rounds of ammunition had been fired. The EMU casualties were laughably low by comparison. The story didn't end there. New operations were attempted on and off until 1948. Every time, the same result. Eventually, the government found a different answer. They built a long wire fence, and it worked. After thousands of years of military tradition, what finally stopped the emus wasn't a machine gun. It was a simple fence. Today, emus in Australia are a protected species. Their population has grown to over 70 million. The descendants of those 20,000 birds from 1932 roam the red earth of Australia in a freedom no one dares challenge anymore. So what did we learn from this war? Maybe this: working around nature is smarter than fighting it. Or maybe we just learned one simple thing: don't declare war on emus. This story is real, documented, written into parliamentary records. And on this channel, there's a story like this every single week. Real, documented, and completely unbelievable. History's strangest moments every week. See you next time.